everybody. I'm Daly. And I'd like to welcome you to the reading ceremony for our second week of Camp Conroy. Welcome, everybody. So this camp has been a little different because we split it up into 2 weeks for each age group. So this is our older campers. And during this week, we've had many different guests, many different activities, and we've had a lot of fun. And the theme for this year was mirrors, windows, and sliding glass doors. And it's based on a quote by Rudy Sims Bishop. And it says that reading can show us ourselves, it can show us others, and it can show us lots of different worlds. So it's just emphasizing how important reading and writing is. So with this in mind, we created our anthology, and it's titled Shattered Realities, an Anthology of Infinite Universes.
Wow.
What'd you do, Becca?
I clicked on the arrow that
Click on it.
moves it and it didn't work.
Hit the next one.
Is everything okay?
There you go.
There we go. And so this is our title and our beautiful cover drawn by Mariah. And so across these 2 weeks, we have collaborated with the younger group to create stories. So the younger group created the characters. They really, really tried hard on these characters, and they're super creative and they're awesome. And can you go to the next one? So they created, in groups of 2, they created a hero and a villain for these stories. And up here are their sketches. And then our awesome counselor, Alice, created them into these beautiful illustrations. And so using these characters, our older campers wrote stories. And they're going to share excerpts of those with you tonight. And the first story is Jacob, Jim, and the Gym Gods by Allie and Haley.
This is Ellie's story.
Yeah, Allie isn't here, so Ellie's doing the comment for her. Our story is about this manager, Jim, who is ousted from his position by Cinder, the woman there.
The half-brother.
Yes. And he goes on quests with his friends. He has to find this orb to give him powers to stop Cinder. So this is an excerpt from what he's told. He raised the slice to his mouth. He could smell the strange tanginess of the ranch and the greasy cheese of the pizza. It was disgusting. Could he really do this? Remember your friends, bro, the orb whispered. And suddenly, it all came back to Jacob. He needed to do this, not only for his friends, but for the gym. Without his gym, there would be nowhere for bros like him to hang out in the company of fellow bros. There were no other spaces for bros to congregate. The nerds had their public libraries, the teenage girls had their malls. It's the law of nature. The bros needed their gym. It was like the bro sanctuary. For his gym, Jacob muttered. He bit into the pizza. That's Allie's art.
And this is Allie's poem. Wilted flowers, sun shines through, cat sniff at dirty Converse.
This is Meyer. And I wrote the basement window. The window is low to the ground and its single pane is caulked around every edge. Little soft feet clamber atop boxes to peer through the glass, hoping for some glimpse of nature. Mulch and hydrangea bushes block much of the view, but between the sticks and leaves and flowers, there's a hole. In the hole, there is a crooked stone path peeking out of the dirt and grass. Between 2 flagstone circles, a fox, tiny, probably only a kid, stands there, watching a bird nearby. The bird is perched on the edge of a concrete bird bath. Its vibrant blue plumage would be incredibly distracting during any other time of year, but in spring, surrounded by blooms of every color, it blends right into the deep, mysterious purples and the energetic, excitable blues. It chirps and cocks its head at the fox, who watches it with muted wonder. They stand at an impasse for a moment before the bird swoops down and steals a red, red berry, a strawberry. The fox doesn't lunge.
This is our collaborative story that we made
based on the littler kids' characters. This one is Aerosax, and then this one is Diamond Claw.
Oh.
And basically, our story is about these two clans who go onto an island and then are like fighting for territory. And then what's happening? Diamond Claw is from one clan, while Aerosax is like the henchman of another clan. And this is like the very end of the story, like the resolution.
Diamond Claw is from the Dog Paw clan, and Aerosax from the Cat Claw clan. Diamond Claw log 5, April 7th, 2018, 7:30 p.m. I was eating my tacos when the cats and dogs started fighting. In shock, I dropped my taco. To my surprise, they all stopped fighting and started eating tacos.
Aerosax log 6, April 7th, 2018, 7:45 p.m.
This has honestly been the craziest day of my life. After the cats ran off, the dog must have smelled them because then the dogs came running from the opposite direction. I tried to keep up with them, but 4 legs are better than 2, even if I am 6'4". When I finally caught up with the dogs and cats, they were all eating tacos off the floor too. That she-wolf just had to have tacos. This was honestly wild and nasty. What happened to them hating each other? Were tacos really the answer? Yes,
Peace,
they
love,
were.
and tacos. This is my artwork. Confused. I was so confused. I never felt like this. I didn't know what this feeling was or who I was either. What people would call me felt wrong. My body felt wrong. I thought I was alone. I was at the time. I was so confused. Then I saw a show. It had people like me. I found books with people like me. I started working things out. It was hard. I got an online account. There were countless stories of people like me. Asexual people, non-binary people, queer people. I was not confused anymore. I wanted others to see themselves in my poem. To know others have been confused. They aren't alone. It's okay to be confused. It takes time. We all work, but it gets easier.
This is my artwork, and this is my poem, Alone. Alone. Dark, dreary, trapped, alone. This is what my life has been reduced to. I'm not mad at the fact that my home is now a kitchen full of sorrow. I'm not mad at all. Lonely is more accurate. Lonely is what I've been reduced to be. I've been wrongfully sentenced to a life of solitude, yet someone threw away the key. I'm not mad that I must stare at these pew-colored walls on top of the bland couches, but I am mad that I must do it alone. But then again, I'm not mad. Who is there to be mad at? My destiny has been reduced to stay a dirty cup in a dreary kitchen. My destiny is to wait for the sad man that owns a singular cup to come. I should be mad at him, but how can I be? He's just as lonely as me. Dark, so I shall stay here. Dark, dreary, trapped, ever forced to stare at the pew-colored walls, waiting to be wanted again. I probably should mention that this poem was like a point of view poem of a cup alone in the kitchen, and not of my life.
So these are pictures. So this one is Miss Turbo, and this is Sight through alligators and birds. And our story is called Passion Show.
It's in the perspective. I wrote it in the bird's perspective, and she wrote it in the alligator's perspective. And now we're reading an excerpt from her.
Yeah, thanks. Perspective. So I arise from my slumber and turn my mind to a gloomy day. Time to spread my evilness. I spend the day with very fun activities on my clipboard and skip the shower, putting on my usually gray and blue outfit. I read the list of evil schemes. What should I do today, I ponder? Maybe Mom into something so story, as I always do so. I turn on the TV to the nap. See eye-catching fashion at the biggest fashion show taking place in Children's. Yes, this is action shows in the theater side. I made my way through the theater, putting my camera in motion. The theater was decorated for the opening night. As I tiptoed around the set, I noticed the light of my alien coming from the dressing room. I carefully take my Dorian Gray socks and quickly stuff outfits of golden pink. Yeah.
This is some of my art. And then I wrote several poems. Pollution. Clean fish will never get dirty. Clean fish will always be captive. But the dirty fish will never be clean, and the dirty fish will reign free. Kits and pups. Will the fox ever tire of her horrible game, sending mice into attacks to the heart? To survive in life is to torture and maim, so she simply must play her part. When the fox tires of her life, she has been beaten. She is sure to shrink and bleed. And then her punishment, to eat or be eaten, resulting in eternal sleep. Tarnished flame. The breeze will move the clouds to the ground, and the water will float quietly forward. The sand should then soon be drowned, and the plants should soon grow bored. Here I sit, cradled and quieted, until man comes near. Hear the sounds of nature unrivaled, until man shrinks quiet in fear. He'll shrink and groan, complain and beckon, to get me away from his sight. He'll move me away, he'll inflate all lessen, to a mere piece of garbage in all my might. Then I'll notice the breeze roaring as brewing, and then the lack of hands. Then I'll blow, and man's plan is ruined, and so soon will be the land.
So this is some of my art, and I wrote a haiku called Saturday Morning. So, soft and fuzzy, surrounded by colors, sleeping peacefully. Raining afternoons, staring at a calming screen, cool morning sunrise. Hills awake, suns enthusiastically, fields of gold. And autumn's sweet story. The bright autumn leaves fill the air with their color of red, yellow, and orange. The morning sun beats its face as the cool air rustles the bushes. What a fine day. I can't resist the urge to skip my breakfast and shower, making my way outside. Well, absolutely not before I put my clothes on. I love autumn, I say. The leaves urge me not to jump on them, but I don't listen. And a little pool of water yells at me not to jump on him, but I also don't listen. I love autumn.
Oh no. So this is I'm Sullivan and Weston is not here, so this is Weston. Everyone say hi to Weston.
Hey, Weston.
Yeah, okay. So we got a story. We came up with a story where an evil panda, using characters we give them first. We came up with the story where an evil panda attempts to take over the world, and a little girl who's at the zoo at the time has to stop him. So I will be reading and Weston will just sit here. Cries of terror lined the streets of New York City as a crimson beast decorated in royal blue markings thundered his way down to the zoo. This beast, a bear, a panda bear, sought one thing, bamboo. Many folks were out this day, enjoying the cold breeze, taking their kids out to enjoy a zoo day, but little did they know the pandemonium was about to strike. Screams echoed down the packed walkways. They seemed to be coming from outside the panda exhibit. Emma Emerson Jr., a young New York girl, was gawking at the pandas with her family at the zoo when the pandemonium began. Stand down, bald pandas. Fear for your ecosystem, for I seek all of your bamboo, a deep voice bellowed from behind. The red and blue pandas stormed the exhibit, grabbing Emma and the rest, and tossed them into the panda enclosure. The panda opened the gate from beyond the walls of the exhibit, and the pandas scrambled out. Greetings, fellow pandas. I come to demonstrate the true capability of bamboo. Behold my chromatic power! A roar sounded from his red jaws. And slowly, the monochromatic pelts of the army bear shifted into hues of red and blue. Good. Rise, my minions, and make sure no one escapes. He turned to the humans in the cage. My name is Kalijun, but you may call me your new overlord. I seek bamboo. Feed me bamboo, or I will feed you death. This is my poem, or one of the poems I wrote, and it's based on the story of St. George and the Dragon, and more specifically the fact that symbolism from that story is seen all over in the modern world, from the flag of England to the seal of Moscow. Do you think I knew, when the spear pierced my brain and the lady screamed, that the silver man above me would ride forevermore on red banners marching with armies for men we wouldn't meet? Do you think he knew we would do duel 1,000 times, with 1,000 stories, 1,000 founding myths, 1,000 times? Do you think I would have made a better symbol, a raging dragon, instead of his red cross? And the children would hide in beds and watch the shadows for any sign of my jaws. The men would cower as my wings cast shadows overhead. It's quite silly, really, that a boy on a deformed horse could outsmart and kill me. This is Weston's. So I'm not going to be reading this. Weston is, just in my voice. Why? Why do you lie to yourself? Why do you feed the words of the world into your mind? How? How do you live in such ignorance, seeing the world as a playground for your mortal curiosity? What? What is the purpose of this? And then what do I do with that? I must see, I must know who. Who are you to question your own curiosity, whilst you still wonder when? When will you see that you must follow a specific path? Not everything is yours. Where? Where will I be in the future? I could be in space. I could be in the White House. If only. If only you could see your stupidity. If only you could feel my pain. Your pain. Your pain is an imminent danger. Your mind will face impossible troubles. For so far, I'm all right. I've got friends. I've got family. I've got it all. It will all make sense to you, to me, to us. You'll see the beauty and curiosity. It will be too late. Too late to go back, to follow the right path, to set yourself up for success. It would have been easier to listen. To listen is what I've been told. To follow, to fear. I don't care. I will listen when I am old.
So that's me. Decided to do all those drawings for the lovely stories that you guys have seen. The Jim Bros, Aerosax, and Diamond Claw, Pandemonium, and our lovely fashion fiasco, which I am honored to have. And this is my poem, or 3 haikus. So, sunlight through windows, a brand new project begins. Pick up your pencils. An early morning, heavy eyes and yawning voice, mirror needs cleaning. Pass through the glass door, summer, sunlight, and soft breeze, a breath of fresh air.
Today I'm going to be reading my poem titled Lonesome Dove. All-knowing eternal spirit, guide me towards the moral light. Rip me open and tear me out, stitch me up and pat me down. My spirit is chipped and far too tight, too rigid, too mean and bruised. But underneath the band-aid and gauze, a new skin forms and I am soothed. Shape me, mold me, make me new, for all I seek is what is true. Place a lamp beneath my feet, create me, cleanse me, make me complete. Take me to long roads fork, and open me up like a wine bottle's cork. Show the twists and turns it takes, for if I'm wrong, what will await? Do not spare me from the gruesome tale of the man who follows the winding trail. The trail of old is deeply worn, safe and sound, quiet and warm, marked by the lives of generations, preparing me for separation. Teach me to seek the lonesome life of a man who lives in constant strife. For when you lay me down to sleep, I pray the Lord my soul to keep. But when lay me down to rest, will I have done my very best? And is there much point in trying to break away to be defined? Do the trails meet at a sharpened point, converging, twisting, becoming joined? Or should I take the outstretched hand and meet my family in the promised land? But as I call to the spirit above, it flies away like a lonesome dove. The moral light I hold so dear is dim and beginning to disappear. No remedy or melody lies before me. I was never destined for fame or glory. All I'll have when I reach the light is what I've sitting down to write. For it is written and shall be done, nothing is new under the sun.
Hi, I'm Becca. This is my art, and I did lots of dragons because in the dragon, this one particularly is like kind of trapped in the mirror to kind of represent how like the dragon, which is kind of like to me seems like a being of like imagination and creativity, is like being trapped inside of the mirror and it's being limited by those around it, and that dragon is breaking through the mirror. It's kind of like expressing itself in like all the different ways it was told not to. So that's
Hey y'all, I'm E.A. Church, I'm one of the counselors, and this is just a little piece that I did this week. It kind of focuses on self-perception and like how people view themselves, and it's kind of distorted by your own self-image when in reality it's not how it seems. So, that's my piece.
Can we just give one more round of applause for all of the amazing work? I'd like to thank you all for coming and letting your kids be a part of Camp Conroy 2025. We'd love to have them, and we wish that you come back next year. Thank you.